Welcome back to Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. I'm your midday host, Julie Grant, and it's great to have you with us on this Thursday afternoon as we continue our gavel-to-gavel coverage of the case of the state of Iowa versus defendant Michelle Boat. She is accused of the first-degree murder of a woman named Tracy Mondabaugh back in May of last year. They're on witness number 4. The jury is still on the lunch recess. And so what we're going to do right now, while we're waiting for them to come back, is shift gears to bring you your daily sidebar with some breaking news that we've been following since yesterday. This is a case out of Colorado. There's been an arrest in the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew. Morphew's husband, Barry, just made his first court appearance today. This is him. He's being held without any bail. Barry Morphew now facing charges of first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence in his wife's disappearance. There's also a charge of attempting to influence a public servant. That as well he's facing. Now, remember, we're just a few days shy of the year since the 49-year-old mother was last seen on Mother's Day. This is Suzanne right here. She vanished without a trace while she was out on a bike ride. And at the time, Morphew's husband, Barry, had publicly pleaded for her safe return. Take a look.
Well, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back. We love you, we miss you, your girls need you. No questions asked. However much they want, I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you, and I want you back so bad.
Now, despite extensive searches and intense media coverage, Morphew's body has never been found. Let me bring in Court TV anchor Ted Rollins and Judge Ashley Wilcott. Okay, Judge, I want to start with you. So we know that Suzanne's body has never been found. The sheriff believes she's dead. The DA seems very confident in this case that even though there has been no body that's been recovered, that shouldn't be a problem to move forward with a prosecution. We've seen it before. Let's take a listen to what was said.
The question is if we'd been searching for her and we hadn't found her, and if there's any indication that she wasn't alive today. Is that correct? Well, we believe that she's not alive. We've filed first-degree murder charges, or we're in the process of filing first-degree murder charges. So our belief is that Suzanne is not alive at this time.
For those that didn't hear the question, he said, we're not releasing the affidavit and we don't have a body, so how can I convince the public that we have a strong case? That's my job. I'm the one that considers how strong my case is before I bring charges, and I wouldn't bring charges unless I was confident.
All right, Judge. So highlight for us some of the difficulties when the state moves forward on a case where there is no body.
Sure. First of all, I liked her confidence to say, I have the evidence. It's my job. I'm going to prove it. So we know in 1960, People versus Scott, which is a U.S. Supreme Court, said, listen, if you have a missing person, you don't have a body, you can prove it by circumstantial evidence so long as it takes away any other reasonable hypothesis. So the state has the obligation, and we have to see that there's enough circumstantial evidence, Julie, to say nothing else could have happened, right? There's no other reasonable explanation for what happened in this circumstance. And I just want to throw out a couple of statistics to think about. And that is, I think since the 1800s, 1863 maybe, there have been over 500 known convictions of murders where there was no body. Add to that, about 86% of the charges in cases where there's no body has resulted in conviction. So connect the dots, lots of circumstantial evidence, no other reasonable explanation for what happened. I think you can see a conviction in these types of cases.
I'm with you, Judge. They can certainly get there. Ted, I have a special question for you, if I may, please. This case has some parallels to another very high-profile case that's just recently been seen in the news again, the one with Scott and Lacey Peterson. I know you know this case very well. You're an expert on it. Now, besides the emotional public plea for the wife return, what else jumps out to you as some similarities between the two?
Well, I mean, that was a big one, right? When Lacey Peterson went missing, people first in California, then the country wanted to know where this woman was. And the same thing happened with Suzanne Morphew. She's just a mother, beautiful woman who vanishes off the face of the earth. Come on. And in both cases, of course, the husband was suspect number one out of the gate in terms of not only investigators, but the public as well. So Scott Peterson was under a microscope, same with Barry Morphew, and both of them pleaded with the public for help. You know, we saw Scott Peterson doing interviews, help me find my missing wife, I will find her. Same thing with Barry Morphew, help me find. The difference in the Peterson case, prosecutors were very reluctant to pull the trigger until, in fact, they didn't, until Lacey and Connor's bodies washed up in the San Francisco Bay. In this case, Colorado prosecutors believe they have enough circumstantial evidence to convince a jury that not only is she dead, but her husband Barry killed her.
Exactly. You know, in terms of what led to the charging, we know that, gosh, more than 70 investigators from multiple agencies conducted 400 plus interviews, the execution of more than 135 different search warrants, and over 1,400 tips coming in were sorted through and then followed up upon. So in terms of what might have led to this, it's tough to know because that arrest affidavit is still under seal, as we know. But
which, by the way,
yes.
I don't like that at all. And the response from the prosecutor, well, I wouldn't bring charges unless you just got to trust me. That's not how the system works. Is that otherwise any prosecutor can say, oh, don't worry about it. I arrested your brother because you could trust me. I've got the evidence. No, that's not how it works. Unless there are other circumstances, which she should have alluded to in that answer. It's the only problem I have. Is she alluded to it as though you can trust me. Well, we probably can trust her, but you can't trust that position.
I see what you're saying. What do you think, Ted and Judge, I want to ask you both, what do you think led to the charging? Best educated guess just on the facts that we know right now. Judge.
I assume it has to be this. You know, she's last seen on Mother's Day. They look into it. They start an investigation. Something doesn't add up. They talk to witnesses. They go and look where she was bike riding. There must have been something that didn't make sense, that wasn't sounding plausible, realistic. And so they look at the next step and they start to look at the immediate people that surround her in her life. We know one of the first people that law enforcement always looks at are the people that live with the person in the home, and that's her husband.
Yeah, he's under a cloud of suspicion on this one. Ted, what's your best guess as to why the charges now?
Well, I would look at today's proceeding for a clue. And what happened today in Colorado was the judge also issued a protective order for the children. And when this first broke, the two girls were supporting, presumably, Barry Morphew because they were living in the same home. I believe something changed, and it may be tied to those two girls.
That's a good educated guess. We have to leave it there. Ted Rollins, Judge Ashley Wilcott, thank you both very much.